with Akwasi Frimpong.
Yep.
Cool. So a little bit about you. You are the number one. You are the number one top. What's the word? Dealer, distributor?
Promoted distributor in the Golden West division. I was one of the fastest promoted distributor in the Kirby business in the Golden West division.
That's massive.
It's pretty big.
So you did 18 in 14 days, your first month.
My first month as as a dealer, as a sales rep, I sold 19 Kirbys in 15 days.
19, wow.
Personals, and then my second month I did 32 in 18 days.
Which got you
February.
Which got you the Gold Digger Award.
Which
right?
got me the Gold Digger
That's
ring.
a big deal.
Award.
The ring.
It
That's
has
like
nothing to do with Kanye West.
Does not call me a Gold Digger.
It basically means in the Kirby business, if you can sell 30 Kirbys within 30 days, that's a pretty good achievement.
That's huge. So anybody that's listening to that, most people aren't in the Kirby space, and that's a big deal. And what's funny is all of us that do alarms or pest control or solar, right, out of Utah, that's like the mecca. Yeah. But Kirby is the founding fathers of door to door. It's so funny because some people are like, we started the whole door to door thing. I interviewed. So if you're Jeff Davenport or Aaron Seaver or some of these guys that have listened to this, John Sanders listening to this that have already done their podcast, they're like, we started back in '91. I'm like, Kirby started back in 1914. Let's do this.
Yep, absolutely.
My dad did Kirby. My dad did Kirby in college, like all through college, making his bucks, and then he got into real estate, and that's like how it funded.
Absolutely.
It's super cool. So I'm excited to have the first Kirby guy on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
This is cool. So also, fun note, training for the Olympics right now.
Yes, I'm a little bit crazy. I do everything a little bit. So I'm actually training as the first Ghanaian scout athlete. I was born in Ghana. So I'm actually an Olympic hopeful for the 2018 Winter Olympic Games, which is going to be held in Pyeongchang, South Korea.
Oh, you said that really well.
How
many times you practiced that?
I don't know if I'm saying it well compared to the people that are from Korea, but I try my best. Yeah. So I'm working really hard to qualify and to become actually the first West African ever to go head first in the scouting event. If people don't know what that is laying on your belly like on a cookie sheet and going about 80-90 miles per hour head first, blazing through ice channels. And so I'm
it's like the ultimate slide that we all tried to build back in like elementary school. And
exactly.
Like, let's make a bobsled.
Yeah, a little bit like a mud slide or like like one of those things that HAV time you kind of go onto like an ice and you sit on it and go down the hill. Yeah,
it's that easy too, right? It's like a simple pretty 80
much.
miles an hour down head first. No big deal.
The only time you legally, 90 miles. The only time you legally can actually go fast. It's actually pretty cool.
That's awesome. So how'd you get into that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Scouting. I was born in Ghana, West Africa, and for my parents, I wanted a better future for me and my brother, and so we traveled to the Netherlands in 1995 when I was 8 years old. And that's why I discovered track and field at the age of 15. So I was a sprinter originally. And I was a Dutch junior 200-meter champion in 2003 in the 200 meters. And so that kind of got me into track and field. I always wanted to go to the Olympics as a track and field athlete. I received a scholarship from Utah Valley University here in Utah in 2008.
Where is that on a map?
Right? Well, I didn't know where Utah was. I kind of knew about Salt Lake City due to the Olympics in 2002, obviously. So I came to Utah, competed for UVU, great school. I learned so much, and I graduated a degree there, marketing with the minor business manager in 2013 with honors. But then in 2012, because of a tendon injury, I didn't make the Dutch 4x100 meter relay team for the Olympics for London. So I was asked to do bobsledding. It's kind of a common thing that bobsledders are asked. Well, sprinters are asked to do bobsled because they have to push the sled. Mm-hmm. So I was asked to do. I did that for a year in 2013 for the Netherlands team. Didn't make it to the Sochi Olympic Games, and so from there I was like, I'm kind of done with trying to become an Olympian, and I decided to just use my degree and go work. I couldn't really find a job right away, so online I found something about you can kind of do a little bit of a sort of kind of a customer service job. You can you can kind of go do some presentations, and I didn't know what Kirby was. I went into the interview and I just nod yes to everything because I needed a job to pay for my cell phone bill, and so I got into Kirby, and then obviously I did that for 3 years. So I'm still have a distributorship, But I was still kind of itching. I still really wanted to go to the Olympics. So my former bobsled coach said, hey, I think skeleton would be great. You fast the first 50 meters. So I gave it a shot, 2015. I came to Park City. I gave it a shot doing training. I liked it a lot. So 2016, I started the first Ghana Bobsled Skeleton Federation. And then so I started competing for Ghana. I did a world championship for Ghana last year as well in Koningsee in Germany. And now I'm working really hard to make it to 2018 games. Lots of work to do, but we are hopeful and we're working hard.
That is so cool. Yeah. And knock doors.
It's
funding this whole thing. That's what's beautiful about our job.
Yep.
Is it's like I can go sell a Kirby at night, and I can go train all day. Can you train, 9 times a week?
9 times, yeah. I got double training some days in the week, so it kind of makes it a little bit tough. I can't do as much, knocking doors as much as I want to, but definitely, it pays the bills. So, at the same time, training is still knocking doors to pay for my bills, for our expenses home, but also to fund myself to the Olympics as well. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sad because you won't be at door-to-door con because you're going to be in the freaking Olympics.
Yeah, I knew.
But
right?
maybe we'll live in. We'll Skype in, be like, "How's it over there in Korea, man?"
That would be so cool.
And represent a little bit, but
absolutely.
No, that is awesome. So what got you? So you're like, okay, let's look at this weird ad that's presenting and customer service that tricked you into somehow knocking doors, and you're like, holy crap, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yep.
But tell us about that journey, like. Some people start fast, some people start slow. Like, how was it when you first got out there?
Well, like I said, I didn't know what it was. But then, one of the fascinating thing about it is like they, even though they recruit you a certain way, when you come in, they tell you exactly what's up and what you're going to be doing. So I kind of knew what I was going to be doing once I got into the 3-day training, because they give you a 3-day training about the product and what it is and all that kind of good stuff.
They pay you during those 3 days?
There is a paid training.
Is there a paid training?
There's a little bit of a paid training. And but then you have to work to kind of, so you don't get paid just to show up the 3 days, and then when you're done, no, it kind of counts towards if you work.
Okay.
So a little bit. But yeah, so those 3 days I learned a lot, and I saw this vacuum thing they were showing. I was like.
And you were in St. George Hurricane area?
Then I was in Orem.
You're in Orem.
Yeah,
straight up.
So I started in Salt Lake City.
Mecca of door-to-door.
Absolutely. So I was still, I just graduated in 2013. I missed the Olympics in 2014, so I was looking for a job. So beginning of the winter of 2014, so January 2nd is when I started.
It's a good time to start.
I had my interview on New Year's Eve, so that's how bad I wanted a job. December 31st, I was in the interview. I need to pay the bills. So that's how I started. So during the training, I saw this vacuum that they were showing and all the different things it could do. I mean, that thing can massage, that thing can do windows, that thing can mop, it can do all kind of crazy cool things. I was like, who doesn't want this thing, right?
Yeah,
I want one.
Yeah.
So I was sold already, seeing the product, and from there on, it was just history. I worked really hard, and I think I did well.
I think what people don't realize, it's one thing to sign somebody up for like a service with an alarm or pest or whatever. It's another thing to convince somebody that they already have a vacuum. It probably works. It's probably $50 or $100.
Yep.
And then go convince them to buy a $2,000-$3,000 vacuum.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why would I go spend 10 times what I did on this one at Costco?
Yeah, or 100 times,
right?
right?
100 times.
No, that's absolutely correct, and that makes our job tough. But at the same time, people that do know Kirby, have had it before, grew up with it, really know the longevity.
My dad still uses his from college. And
Yeah.
it is a full-on size of this couch. And you're like, it's like pushing the lawnmower without the auto push.
It's a little bit lighter than it used to be, because it used to be made out of steel, and that's made out of die-cast aluminum. So it's a little bit lighter, but still...
It's a beast.
It's still the dinosaur beast, and why is that? That's the reason why people can have it for 20, 30 years, right? So there's a reason why Kirby kept that design, for a reason.
One is probably a lot stronger and can withstand more.
Last 20, 30 years. I have people out there that have the vacuum that can last like 80 years if you really wanted to, right? It lasts for a very long time. So, versus buying, I'm not going to get too much into
My
it.
wife just took our Costco one back, by the way. She literally was like, they'll give me a credit. I'm like, well, just get another one, I guess. Because it broke in 2 years. It did.
Absolutely. They, most of the vacuums break anywhere from 18 months to 3 years. And there's a reason why they give that kind of warranty, because they know it won't last that long. Kirby actually gives you a lifelong, guarantee warranty. It's a lifelong rebuild plan warranty, is what we call it. So you pay a little bit for it, but nothing compared to what people pay for.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you go out knocking, and your first store, what was that like? Tell us about it.
It was a little bit scary. Absolutely.
A black guy in Utah knocks on door. People go, "Don't shoot!" And
it's a joke, but it's true. I mean, 99% of the people that live in Utah are white. And it's a beautiful, beautiful state, and I love Utah. I mean, that's where I found my beautiful wife. So I'm really grateful for Utah. But yeah, it was scary, but they didn't let me go just by myself. I definitely had somebody who walked with me throughout the day so I could learn and listen. And, some people take longer to learn, maybe 2-3 days to walk with somebody. For me, it took a day, half a day to actually pick it up. So it went a little bit faster for me.
Cool. So if you, let's talk about that, because there's a lot of people that listen to this that are black. I'm just going to say how it is.
Cool.
And they go, absolutely. Well, I can't really knock nicer neighborhoods, or I can't knock certain areas simply because I'm black, and they don't respond to me. Like, have you ever dealt with that, or have you? A lot. And
I was always be like, well, Akwasi can do it, right? And it's a perception, and I think it's really what you believe. I definitely think there are good people out there. There's a lot of good people out there that will let anybody in their house as long as you dress sharp, as long as you know what you're talking about, and as long as you present yourself really well. There are a huge chance for you to get in. Racism exists and it will always be there no matter what, but I'm not going to be a victim.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people play that victim card. I managed all types of races.
Yep.
I had from a lesbian to an Indian to black dudes to...
Absolutely.
And I would get, managing these guys, I'd be like, guys, it's in your head. They're like, no, you don't even know. I'm like, well, you're just playing the victim. Like,
I can't speak for them personally because, I mean, obviously I'm black, but, everybody has their own situation and what they believe and stuff like that. It has a little bit to do with self-confidence as well, and I think I have that maybe because of my sports. I don't know.
Yeah, you're competitive, you're a winner. You're like, give me a challenge, I'll go freaking make it happen.
That's what I love. That's what I love doing. I don't like to do easy stuff. And Kirby was easier, but he would be doing it, right?
Yeah.
But in regards to that, with the whole racial part of things, I have to work extra hard, yes. I'm a little bit in a neighborhood whereby people don't expect me to knock on their door because there's not that many of me around.
Yeah.
But, every time I knock on the door, my wife always makes that joke. And my wife is like, you always get in the door with, like, old, gray woman, 50 years old, and the one that should be scared of you, they always let you in. How do you do it?
Yeah, because you could technically be this, like, hood rat that's
my black doesn't crack and I look good.
Yeah, you look good. Hey, you're fit, you look good, that smile, you're a charmer. I love it.
But yeah, I think everybody can get in the door. I think it doesn't matter what race you are. Cool. And customers can see that in your eyes, right?
They sense the confidence.
They sense it's just
They're
like
animals.
Just like a dog, Yeah, exactly. They can just sense, if somebody's scared or not, and customers sense those kind of things. So if you already have like, oh, I think that's what you're thinking, but they might not even be thinking that. So you just have to do your job and go from there. Yeah. And some will say yes, some will say they no. So.
Perfect. So tell us about your door approach. So you did really well right off the bat. You obviously sold 19 in your first
15 days.
Yeah, it's crazy. Breaking
for Kirby, it is crazy.
That's record breaking. Like that's like
I think there's the people out there that they may have done better than me in regards to selling a lot in a month, but to do it in 15 days, yes, that's more than one a day. So
and how many? There's 3,000 distributors
around the world. That's just distributors. And
then you have dealer or reps that.
So you get a ton of
thousands. A lot of people are like, Vivin's so big. I'm like, we're talking a worldwide door-to-door force.
Yeah.
That people don't realize how massive Kirby is.
And Kirby's in 56, 57 different countries. So, yeah.
So the fact that you've set like really high bars is awesome. And it just shows your personality. It's like, I'm a freak. Go to the Olympics. I'm gonna be the first black skeleton dude. Yeah. I'm a freaking like dominant. Like this is gonna be dope. I love it, dude. This is fun. So tell us a little bit about how your door approach works, because I've never heard a Kirby door approach. So maybe just do it. I'll be a customer, knock on my door.
I think first of all, just to kind of give Kirby credit, not because we just on the podcast, but Kirby is really good in teaching people and leading them, and I definitely think that they do a really good job. I mean, they've been there 103. They know what works and what doesn't work, right?
So,
but obviously you have to bring your own personality a little bit in it. There's different approaches, door-to-door pitches. There's a ton of them that Kirby also has. Everybody has their own thing. So, and I'm a little bit rusty right now, but is that a pamphlet or is that something we can use like to hold? The paper.
It's a bill that I.
Yeah. We got to pay the bills, right?
All right.
But we'll put that one down. So we'll kind of just make it really easy. I'll just keep it shorter than I normally do, but I'll kind of still do it. So, hello.
Hey, can I help you?
Hi. Hey, how you doing today?
Good, how you doing?
Hey, nice. My name is Akwasi. Hey, don't worry, man. I'm a black guy, not a bad guy. You don't have to buy anything, okay? Hey, ha, 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 ha. Hey, so I'm just here with my company called Gem USA. We actually recently just opened up in the neighborhood not too long ago, and I represent a company called Kirby. Have you ever heard of Kirby before?
Like the vacuum?
Yeah, Kirby vacuum.
Okay.
So we're just in the neighborhood, just getting around just to get to know the
we have
neighbors.
a vacuum.
Yeah, almost everybody. I'm glad you have one. Otherwise, I won't even step in your home, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you have a Kirby vacuum. So what we actually do is we're trying to show off our newest model that came out called the Avalar. We're just going around showing customers what the product does. And what we basically do for a lot of people in this community, we actually come in, we show what the product does. We clean one room complete for free for no charge.
So like free carpet cleaning?
Yeah, but you must be wondering what's the catch, right? Because I mean, this is America, nothing's for free, right?
Yeah.
There's absolutely no catch to it. It says here totally for free. And what we're trying to do for you is like, we hope that if you like the product, that you tell friends and family about it. But if you don't like the product, please just don't tell anybody because I feel totally embarrassed, okay? So most of the neighbors, like actually your neighbor Lucy, she's like super awesome. She gave me a glass of water. I mean, it's hot outside, right? Yeah. She's a super cool lady. She mentioned that her highest traffic is actually like her stairs. Some people say their hallway, family room. For you and your home, which area would you say gets the most traffic?
Probably just this front room right here.
The front room, okay, great.
Okay,
great. And it's mostly like tile, carpet, hardwood. What kind of surface floor? Carpet, okay, great. It's like thick or thin kind of carpet?
Thin.
Okay, great. Well, let's take a quick look at it.
And then you just stomp the feet.
Yeah, but you can hold me back. I mean, so sometimes they'll let you in. You know, you can feel the sense, and sometimes they don't let you in. I'm just playing, you know, I'm just playing blonde. I'm just acting like, you know, everybody's doing it, right?
Yeah.
And so you can, I mean, if you want to reject me.
Yeah, so I honestly, like, I'm not, like, I don't really want to buy a vacuum. I don't have a ton of time right now. Mm-hmm. You know, do you have like a card? Okay.
Well, so I'm not asking to buy anything from me, right? I mean, if I knew that you're going to buy from me today, I would just like, you know, just come in here and just have you write a check for me. But that's not what I'm doing. I really want to show you what the product does. Just keep in mind, you know, if your vacuum breaks or anything like that you always keep us in mind. So today, all we want to do is just show you how well the product works and kind of get your opinion on it. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, totally fine as well. But this is what I'll do. I know you're a little bit busy. You probably have kids going and stuff like that. You know, I got a couple open appointments. Like I said, there's no pressure at all. You'll be helping me out because I actually get paid to do this. So every cleaning job that I do, I get paid about $25. So you actually helped me quite a bit. So which area did you get the most traffic again?
Just kind of this front room.
When was the last time you guys actually got it really deep cleaned?
Oh, probably it's been years.
And you can get it actually free from black guy and a nice tie, right?
Oh,
How often do you get a nice, handsome black guy and a nice tie come in your home and clean for you for free?
Not.
When was the last time your husband actually helped you with that?
Never.
Right? So I'm just going to be your private butler for the day. I don't ask you for anything. You don't have to buy anything, but just keep in mind the product is for sale. So if you do like it, great. If you don't like it, totally fine as well. You're still helping me out. So I'll just come back around, 4 or 5 o'clock-ish, just see if you're still home. But I'd love to kind of get the opinion from you and just get a chance to kind of show it to you, all right? Okay. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, and they can say, they say 7 times no, and I'll still keep going. So
okay,
I can 7 times is really well, I kind of stop. So there's always different way to go about it.
Yeah. So I want people that are listening to this. Yeah. I want them to pick up a few things that I picked up.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of. Yeah. I just want to regurgitate the goods that I was like, wow. The amount of pullback you did was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Like the amount of, hey, honestly, you don't need to buy from me. Just know it's for sale. But at the end of the day, unattached. You can just keep us in mind if you were to ever buy a vacuum. Maybe one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Those types of lines are powerful on the door because it really broke down the wall, right? It's kind of oh, he's okay, he just wants me to tell, see how the product is. Just tell us how it is.
What's the number one thing why people don't like to have people in their home? Pressure.
Yeah, pressure. There was no pressure to buy, no pressure.
Yep. So the product is for sale, so I don't lie to them. Some people will lie oh no, it's totally not for sale, and I'm just doing this for free, and blah blah blah.
No,
the product is for sale, and customers love the honesty.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you really going to be doing?
Because you were blunt, but you stated hey, this is my objective, and at the end of the day, you like what you see, then get it. If you don't, then that's totally fine.
Totally fine. Yeah, you still get free cleaning.
You still get free cleaning. I make money just to come clean. Let's come do this. That piece is powerful.
Yep, and you can use other stuff hey, this is how I pay for my college. This is how I do this. This is how I do whatever. Hey, it's just it's just a tryout, whatever.
Yeah, and then you added value by saying, when was the last time you had that clean?
Yep.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's free. I will come clean it.
Yep.
who would say no to that?
Yep.
Let's go.
You'd be surprised.
And then right? I really like the confidence of just assuming. It's like, okay, like you had direction on how you were going to get in the home. Because I noticed a lot of people, then they're trying to transition into homes. They don't really have any reason to transition into a home. So you're like, okay, where is the most highly trafficked area? And then, you kind of are like, okay, that's where I'm going to focus. And you kind of just said, let's take a look at that and stomp your feet, or do you want me to take my shoes off? Or
because I know that once I get in, I've overcome the first thing, and that is I'm scared. Who is this person? Once I'm in, they trust me, right? Yeah. Then it's about finding pictures in the home, finding common ground, Yeah. Then there's another pitch once I get in the home, how I kind of get that trust, obviously, because I'm still not there yet. They may say yes to me at the door, come in, and they may say yes 4 or 5 o'clock, but I know that at 4 or 5 o'clock when I come, she's not going to open up the door. You, or even though they're home, right? Making a barbecue in the front yard, even though they say they're not home, right?
We're not home.
Yeah, we're not home, right?
Okay.
So there's another whole thing once I get into the home, like tell them a little bit more about myself, find out how long they've lived here, blah, blah, that whole thing, to kind of create that trust more. Because then I know at 4 or 5 o'clock, this young man came to my house, because I know they're going to tell their husband, because most of the time when I knock his wife alone, right? That's another barrier that I have to overcome. So if a woman is not scared of me, come into her home, feel comfortable, blah, 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 then I know when she calls her husband, she's going to feel okay. And it doesn't always work, but at least, I have to build that trust.
Yeah. So another thing that I noticed was your initial icebreaker. And you hello. You did the high five. Yeah. Like, you got me really engaged, and you're like, what'd you say? I'm a black guy, not a bad guy.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because a lot of people, I did a podcast on, the first 30 seconds on the door. And it's so critical to have something that throws them. It's a pattern interrupt. Absolutely. It's kind of like, did he just say that?
Absolutely. You don't want to be the regular, normal, everyday sales guy, right? You have to have something unique, and everybody has something unique, so people just have to figure out what's unique about them, throw that a little bit mix into it, and there's all different ways to go about it. Look at the front yard. Do you like the outdoor color? Whatever. Give them a compliment. I have found what works for me, but I bet there's so much other.
Do you have a couple other good just go-tos that you like for the initial icebreaker?
Oh yeah, basically, I sometimes I use detergent, right? And when I use the detergent, knock, and basically when they say yes, blah blah, then I said, "Do you ever do laundry?" Right?
And they're like, "Wait, what?"
Who doesn't, right? Or they will laugh, right? It's more like a joke, like,
"Do you ever do laundry?"
Do you ever do laundry?
And then they're like, "Duh."
Great, this is for you, right? So I distract the customer with the laundry detergent, and that's something I learned as well. And why? Because
and you hand them something?
I have a small detergent.
Oh, really?
So I kind of give them a little bit of distractions, because sometimes you give them right away the flyer, or you get straight into the pitch. It's going to be like, okay, another guy here, blah blah. They have to kind of get to know me a little bit. They have to get a little bit warm around me before I kind of get really into the core of what I'm there to do.
Cool. So we're going to shift gears a little bit into recruiting.
Okay,
because
cool.
Kirby, obviously master recruiters.
Yeah.
Like, they are probably one of the best, and have mastered the science, and I'm sure they've trained you on here's how to do it.
Absolutely,
And I think you kind of have a unique, we were talking kind of a unique way to compensate, unique way to start up. You said like 3-day trainings. Like, I want to kind of learn, how do you structure growing your distributor, and how do you recruit? You mentioned we were jamming. You hired a recruiter.
Yeah,
like, you had just your own recruiter in your distribution.
Yep.
So I'm going to pause real quick, reset this.
Yeah,
and
please do.
And then we'll jump into that. So I'm just going to press here. Here. And then... Okay, so if you're watching live, sorry, I'm just trying to get this wrong. Okay, so... is anybody watching this? Let's see. Jeremy something. What's up, brother? Okay, so let's dive into your structure for recruiting.
Okay.
Tell us, just Talk to me about that.
I have to say it's not my structure, it's the Kirby structure. You know, the Kirby is really good in teaching people a way to be successful. And like I said, they have a successful way of going about it, and you have to follow it and put a little bit of your own stuff in it as well sometimes, but it works. And it's a whole week of recruiting basically, whereby obviously you get a recruit, you train a recruit how you want things to be done, and we have you post ads on whatever you're using, Craigslist, KSL, whatever it's out there, right? And then you just have a couple of different type of posts, and you just invite people in and you interview them. You can do a group interview. Kirby's really good in sometimes doing a group interview, or you can do individual interviews. That depends what office you're in.
So you try to, like, a group interview would be like getting everybody in.
But
like
same time,
invite them to like a pizza party type thing, or more so like a structured.
It's more structured. They come in, they have a race in their resume and everything.
So you're asking for resumes.
Yep, I'm already doing those things. A good 2-3 days just focusing just like getting resumes in, calling people, blah blah blah. And then just getting them in, and if you do a group recruit whereby you basically just tell everybody what's up, what the company is, what we do, what our vision, blah blah blah, what we're looking for, the different positions that are available, and it kind of helps because sometimes you get so many people that if you do one-on-one, sometimes it can be draining because it's not your regular job where you have like 3-4 interviews a day. You have like 50 people show up. I mean, do one-on-one.
You're by the last one you're like,
so if it's a smaller office whereby you can manage that, maybe 10-15 people, then it's okay. But sometimes Kirby can get like a ton of people in. So
do you personally have to spend the money on the ads, like your
distributor? You're a distributor. Yep.
How much money a month would you?
It all depends. You can keep it cheap, but I think we were spending about each ad. I think is like depending if you're doing.
Like
Craigslist. I think KSL is like $70 or something, but Craigslist is like $25 in different cities. I'm not sure if it's free here, but in Arizona it wasn't free.
No, it's not free.
So you put about 5 to 8 ads in a day, sometimes 2 days. Then you have that. Then obviously you pay the recruiter.
And how do you pay your recruiter?
The recruiter has just an allowance to give, anywhere from like $500 a week. To kind of get them to get excited because it's a lot of draining job, right?
And they're the ones doing a lot of the interviewing.
They are doing the calls, they're doing everything. They're doing the whole shebang. They're doing but it's all scheduled in a week. So there's days for calling, days for interviews, days for training. So you don't do them all at once, and you spread out through a week.
So it's kind of like the ad days, or let's call it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep. Actually, Monday, Tuesday. And then Wednesdays typically interviews. Sometimes you do like a morning on Thursday to kind of get extra people in the voicemails and all that kind of stuff. And then you get like Thursday, Friday, Saturday training. And how do you structure that? Like, is it an all-day thing, an hour, 3 hours? No, it's a 2.5 day. So basically they come in like anywhere from 10 a.m. to like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., depending again how big the office is. Even
if you only had one person you hired that week.
Because you want them to be in the field already on Monday.
Okay.
So you got to teach them a lot of how doing a Kirby demonstration.
So 10 to 4
ish,
and then
Saturday you do like a 9 to 1.
Okay.
And you kick off, then they can go to friends and family to show the product, get a little bit more training on their own. And during that weekend, if they want, they can sell as well and already make money right away. So they can make money right away, so they can see it's real. And then starting Monday, you take them into the field, with the van and everything, the whole,
plug them in,
and then see who's going to survive.
Yeah, because the turnover is high, right? I mean,
it's some offices do better than others, but it still sales. Yeah. It's not for everybody, and the people that can work through it can become very successful and do really well. Most of them do.
So what do you do in those 2.5 days of training? What do you find most effective? Like, how much of it is product? How much of it is motivating? How much of it is structure? Like what?
I definitely put motivation in it as well in between the breaks and stuff like that. Tell my personal story. I think that's always the best. I can put in a great motivational speech in. Sometimes I do that, but most of the time my own story, because I started myself. I start from the bottom, so they want to really hear about what is your story. You just didn't get to be a CEO of a company, because basically I'm a distributor, I'm a CEO of my own company. But the structure is hands-on. We do a lot of hands-on because that's the most important thing. We really want to teach them the product is what really sells, not just talking. It's not just like salesmen just talk. Even though I can be good at it, right? Because I'm talking a lot right now.
So you get them super bought into the product.
Into the product. We really want to show them it's all about the product. The product works.
Yeah. So do you do a lot of role playing with that or
yes. So the way we typically do it, Sam, is that hey, this is the part called the power plant. Okay, the power plant has an inflow, an outflow. It has a cord is so long. It has a height adjustment. It has all these different features. This is what it is. Okay, and then you maybe add one or two other things to it. So I show them. So that's how. So we go through how you do a presentation of a Kirby, right? So we walk through a presentation. So then we pause. Okay, now you guys, two of you guys, So you have a group of like two here, two here, two here, throughout the whole room, and then they can go through it maybe like five minutes talking about that part. Okay, now guys, we're gonna shift into the canister. Okay, the canister is this, and this, and while I'm showing them, talking about it, it's like doing a presentation for a customer.
Okay.
So they write notes, and then I break it down. They can go and talk about it, stuff like that.
Does Kirby use scripts a lot, or is it mainly principle based? Like, I got my first sales job, or not my first, but I did ShamWow and Quick Chopper 2000s and like Gottschalks and stuff. And
awesome.
The glory days. You saw me up on like making a mean salsa.
Absolutely, I love it.
Giving shit. Loved it. But they had me memorize like this 4-page script, and that's like how they train. I'm curious, is Kirby?
I personally didn't.
I
think the older Kirby distributors really have a script that people can. I think it's overwhelming. I think people should have their own personality.
Okay.
But the product is the product.
So
the product has its name. The product has its function. The product has the way it works. That part you teach them like, okay, this is the blower. The blower does 1, 2, 3, 4. This blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That you teach them. You let them write that down. But it's not like a whole. There's some script to it.
But it's more of a flow versus like say this.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yep.
So there was one thing that when we were jamming, you talked about the 5 musts.
Yep.
So let's kind of dive into, you train on this concept of your 5 musts, and then we're going to kind of apply it to all of door to door.
Absolutely.
So kind of tell us a little bit about that.
So the 5 must is it's one of the it's really what makes Kirby. It's really what actually developed our dealers, reps basically. Some of other door sell people call them sales rep. We call them dealers. And I think that's really the ingredient of Kirby. So the 5 must is the 5 things that you have to do, right, to be successful in the Kirby business. Doesn't matter if you're yellow, white, gray, big, small, whatever you are, right? It doesn't matter if you're charming or not charming. That 5 must is just something that Kirby knows works. What are these 5 must? One of the big one is pull 100 pads, and I'll talk to that really briefly. In Kirby, we don't put the actual bag on the Kirby when we vacuum within people's home. We put a thing called the dirt meter, basically what collects dirt. So you put that in with like a coffee filter pad thing, and you every time you pull pads, maybe 1, 2, 3, you pull it out, 1, 2, 3, you pull out. So it has disc with dirt on it. You spread it around the house, right? So Kirby teaches us to do 100. Why is that important? Because you want to create that overwhelming thing that, okay, your vacuum is not working. You may have bought it yesterday, your vacuum, but the fact that it makes noise and its vacuum doesn't mean it's really picking up, right? So that's one of them. Pull 100 dirt pads to show how important the cleaning, how it works really well. Then one of the 5 must too is do a 4x4 shampoo. That's basically instead of shampoo the whole house, which you can still do the whole house, but before you do that, you do a small section so they can see the difference.
Does anybody ever try to milk you and get you to do like their entire house?
Well,
do that room. Might as well do that room. While you're at it, go get that one.
That's one of the things that you see at the door. At the door you say you're going to clean certain areas. So if you say I'm going to clean this one family room, you have to do it, right? If you say I'm going to do this hallway, luckily me, right? Then you have to shampoo that hallway. So it depends what the customer decides.
Okay.
That you guys agree on at the door. You gotta, you agree on to something. But obviously sometimes,
Sorry, I didn't mean to deviate you for.
No. That's perfect. I think that's good because people ask that. Obviously, you gotta stay a good sales because then the customer's like, okay, well you promised us a door, but you never did it. So customer
deliver what you did.
Yeah, customer's not dumb unless they say, hey, I don't need it, I don't want it. Then great, right? So 100 dirt pads, 4x4 shampoo. Another thing too is of the 5 months of Kirby Vacuum is we have what we call the contest. Basically, one of the ways that help us as well is that even though we're doing the cleaning, there's contests that we can win if we sell a certain amount of Kirbys, right? So we'd like to bring up the contest. So a trip to Hawaii, a trip to wherever, right? Because sometimes in sales you don't make always enough money, right? Depending how much the customer milks you out of a sale, right? So winning that trip can become an important thing to show your family it's real, to show your wife it's real, so you want to win that trip. So we bring that trip in our conversation as we are doing the presentation. Another 5 must is to do the mattress. Always do the mattress. Why is that important? People care about where they walk, but they care more about where they sleep, right? So if I can show, obviously the Kirby goes, really deep, about 12 to 16 inches deep, depending which model you have. The newest model goes about 16 inches deep.
What do you need a mattress?
Yeah, what do you need 16 inches for? Well, not for your carpet. Hopefully it's not 16 inches deep. But, your furnitures, your mattresses, which are places we lay our head on, sleep on, and stuff like that. So it helps a lot to be able to clean that out. While most vacuums are not going to go 16 inches deep, right? So that's, how important it is to show that to a customer, like, hey, look what you're sleeping in, right? So I think I've said 4 of them so far, right? Yeah. And then what's the other one? So don't forget that. A mattress, we have that 4x4 shampoo. We have the 100 dirt pads. Oh, and then comparison. I'm a little bit rusty. Comparison is basically whereby you compare the air vacuum with the Kirby by legitimately doing a science, basically showing them what they're picking up and what the Kirby's picking up and what the air vacuum is leaving behind. So there's a way we do that. We use actually baking soda, whereby we actually put baking soda on the carpet and we go 100 times with the air vacuum. 117 is what I do. 117 times.
117.
Because I think it just sounds better, right?
I went over this 117
just doing it 10 times is great. Doing it 20 times is great. But doing over 100 times
and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. That really shows that it doesn't matter if your vacuum turns on or moves around. It doesn't work, right? After 117 times, if your vacuum can't pick up baking soda, which is lighter than sand, how in the heck is your vacuum going to pick up heavy dirt underneath, right? So that's one of the 5 musts. If you do all these things, you actually really, not just talking, but you actually really proving to the customer it works.
Yeah.
And and so that's the 5 must.
So what's crazy is, let's just relate this now to solar, a TV, whatever they're selling door to door.
Yep.
It's interesting that the company has created these 5 musts, and over 100 years of door to door, I'm sure they've figured out this creates a certain emotion. Like you said, the mattress.
Yep, exactly.
They care about where they sleep. They care, and it's like you can create certain emotions in somebody. And what's funny is so many people try to reinvent the wheel. I'm assuming you hit your 5 musts, and I'm assuming Kirby told you to do that.
Always,
and that's probably what
I was dumb enough to listen, and I don't know, stupid enough to follow.
But and then you became great.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's funny is because so many people are like, no, I think this would be better. I think we should try it this way. And it's like, okay, the fact that we've been doing this for 100 years and
I think if the company has overcome depression, overcome Second World War, right? Overcome, all these different things as a company, and they're still in business, they must know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about. So let's say I'm a manager, or I'm running a team, or I'm a company listening to this. It's probably important to kind of give your reps what are the 5 musts of your product.
Absolutely.
For example, like when I sold alarms, like I was trying to think like, okay, what were my musts? I would always talk about like their most vulnerable spot. I'm like, where's like the most... Like if you were, this is how I'd say it. I'd be like, if you were the burglar, let's put the burglar hat on. Where would you come in? And I'd say it like that, and they would be like, man, I've never thought about that. You're like, because you're not a burglar. I'm glad that you haven't thought about that.
Exactly.
But I want you to think about it right now.
Exactly.
And they go, man, I'd probably come in that back door. And you're like, why do you say that? Oh, because nobody can see it and blah, blah.
Thinks about it,
And all of a sudden I created this emotion.
Absolutely.
So I call that, like, that's one of my musts. I'd have to probably think about, like, okay, in solar, like, okay, let's talk about, the rate plan that they're currently on and how the rates go up. That's like a must or rent percent. So I think from a training perspective, that's brilliant to have kind of like, if you don't hit these 5, you won't sell. And the competition piece I really like. Because how often are reps scared to be like, okay, let me let you into my space. I'm really fighting for this trip to Thailand.
Exactly.
And we're scared to like let them know. But I think by doing that, it shows.
That's the fun part. I've won a lot of trips to the Kirby company that I've never would have paid for myself personally, right? And that's exciting that we actually have it. And behind that, we have names of each customer that basically get a Kirby and help us towards that trip. And when we do win the trip, we send them a postcard showing them how they helped us. So,
and do you get sometimes referrals and like?
Yeah, you get referrals. You get people that call me back after 2 years. Say, hey, thank you so much for convincing me. I know I didn't want to do it, but thanks for convincing me. And all the customers will be so excited for you for the trip. I mean, some people will tell me like people don't like to help you, but there's a lot of people out there who like to help you. Some people just obviously they love the product. First of all, they know the product works, but they'll even do it more because they know they can help you win a trip, right?
Exactly.
So, and it depends how you actually bring that towards the customer, how excited you are about it. It's like, oh yeah, so by the way, there's a trip going on as well. It's like, oh no, hey, have you ever been to Hawaii before? I have never. Guess what? I get to clean for you for free, and if you get one of these, if you get excited, I get to go. I can't promise you I'll take you because my wife is home as well, but we can debate that later on, right?
And that's like a close. Right? I mean, that's like...
Well, that's absolutely a close without asking them to buy, right?
Yeah.
Directly, so...
That's awesome. No, that's like a brilliant tip.
So I love that. I think that was a really unique and great idea from the Kirby company to do that.
And most sales companies have some type of competition.
Absolutely.
And it's like maybe the competition's not for another month or two.
Yeah,
but it's like
ours is typically 3 months out.
Yeah.
So
it's like I'm fighting. I'm still in this. So it's super critical to bring that in, so that it brings a human element to the sell. I think it's critical. So I want to end on, because we're kind of out of time.
No problem.
I appreciate this.
No, thanks for having me.
This has been like way fun.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I want to end on one last question because I think I get a good answer. What has been the craziest thing that's happened to you on the doors? Either funny or sketchy or... I should have given you more prep time.
No, I don't think you have to give me prep time. Let me maybe say the exciting, and let me start with the least exciting.
Okay.
I was in Arizona knocking doors as a distributor, because I'm the kind of distributor that will go out there with my guys, show that it's real. You know, it's not, I'm just going to send you to the door. I actually really show people that it can be done, right? And I've done that before, whereby I knock on the door in Arizona, and it said something with like, knock on my door and something, and it sounded really funny actually, right? It was more like a funny thing. So the guy doesn't open the door, but you know, he's like pretty much almost naked, and he opens up the top window on the bedroom, and he's like, if you knock one more time on my door, I'm gonna blow your head off.
Oh wow.
I'm like, okay, all right, have a blessed day, God bless you. Right? So I left. So something like that. I wasn't too scared, but at the same time, you never know. People can be crazy. Yeah. So I just say, hey, God bless you. And I don't make it get to me too much, because I know where my money's at. It's at the next door. Yeah. Right? So I kind of like count to 10 and then go back. A lot of time we do really bad because one person says something and we take it to the next door. Yeah. And that kind of, and exciting thing. Exciting thing was in Cedar City, Utah, because I worked in St. George as well, so we worked in Cedar City, and cool things happened whereby people were like, hey, you speak Dutch, right? Because they had their mission there, and you get, and they started talking to you in Dutch. I think that's really cool. But even the better part is somebody said, Kirby, I have been waiting for 30 years in Springville to have a Kirby guy knock on my door. Oh, that person writes a check for you, right? I mean, I still do the 5 months, right? Because you never know.
That's so critical.
But you never know. You always have to do your 5 months because you have cancellations.
They're the biggest laydown?
There's cancellations.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever. So that was I think I said too much. But basically this was in Springville, Utah. And the lady said, I've been waiting for like 30 years for have this Kirby guy knock on my door. I love Kirby's. So that was an easy lay down one, Once out of a million years, we love those ones.
I'm praying for Kirby. Love it. Okay, well, I appreciate you being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Sam. This was fun.
Awesome. Okay,
I appreciate it.
Share this if you've liked Akwasi, and you're welcome.